Have a good day. Thank you. So today was concrete day, coping and pouring some concrete curbs in Irvine. I'm still in Irvine. On my way to Orange. I have a 1 p.m. appointment. It's 11 right now, so I have some time. It went pretty good. Had a couple little hiccups, but that's the way life goes, and nothing that was uncontrollable. But when I got there, I was taking a look, and the curbs were all poured. The coping was about halfway poured. And I got down in the pool and was looking. I'll have to finish this in a second. 1 second. So, yeah, it was halfway done, and Tyler looked up at me and said, we're gonna be short. And I was like, shit. Because if you're gonna run short, the last place you want to run short on or at is your coping, right? Halfway through the coping. So, you know, Tyler was like, no worries, we'll hand mix it, and that's all cool and good, but we run the risk, and it's almost guaranteed that it wouldn't look exactly the same. We'd have a difference in color based on the different stone used for different mixes and everything, or different cement batches. I don't know, but I knew there's a good chance it wouldn't match. I mean, I'm not an expert by any means. So I started stressing a little bit. And Tyler ran to Home Depot to go get some cement, and then I realized, well, we have all this mud in the curbs we just poured. Let's go ahead and shovel that out and get it into our coping, so the coping's all consistent. So I had the guys do that, and they were nice and did it for me. They shoveled it into buckets, put it into our coping. So all of our coping mud is the same, and we have a segment of curb that will be hand mixed, which is no issue. It's obviously not a big problem. It's a big problem when you have it connecting and touching, especially in a big area like pool coping or something, right? So here's a couple shots from the day. The concrete ended up going out pretty smooth. It was a little hot today, so I think it was taking off kind of quick on them, but it turned out really nice. I'm happy with the job. I have a lot of fun working with Tyler from Odell. He and I we have fun together, I think. Maybe it's a one-way street, I don't know. But it's been fun working with him, and we're both learning a lot, which is cool because, you know, he's 24, I'm 32. He's young, and I know a lot of people would consider myself young as well, especially for, you know, being a swimming pool contractor. So it's cool learning alongside him. We've been learning a lot, I think, and you know, little stuff like today was just a bit of a challenge, and I think I made the right decision on having the guys take the mud from the curb, put it in the coping, so it's all the same from the same batch. And yeah, so it's been fun. Check out these shots. So this is the point I found out that we were out of cement. It was basically at this corner of the coping right here to the bottom left. So we had the rest to go around the pool. Where the gentleman's using the vibrator at the back there is the last couple areas that still need some mud put in. And I'll show you here in a moment the curb that they're pulling from. As you can see, these curbs run basically all around the perimeter of the backyard. And on this side, it's quite massive. It's basically a little wall at this point. Tyler and his guys did an awesome job with the form work, and all the guys today with finishing and everything else did a great job too. It was a pretty hot day, so that always adds another little element of, I guess you could say, urgency to the job as it's taken up. This is the curb on this side that the guys are pulling from. You can see there, they're pulling the last remaining amount over. And yeah, I mean, I think this was a good solution. I think it was the right thing to do. I think hand mixing the curb with bagged mix separate, or sorry, the coping, I don't think that would have been a great move. That would have been a bit of a gamble and not worth it. So I think this was the right decision, and I'm happy we decided to do that. So now the shots are basically going to be concrete finishing, which I know you guys like to see, and I do too. It was funny, actually, today Tyler let me cut a joint up on the spa. And you know, it's funny watching people finish concrete. It could maybe seem easier than it actually is. Maybe some of you think it actually does look hard. To me, it looks easier than it actually is. And when you get down to actually finish something, it's funny how you hold that tool. It just has to be dialed in perfectly. You have to have the right tilt on it depending on what way you're moving it. You have to have it square with the form. There's a lot to it, and these guys are so good at what they do that they just make it look easy. So finishers on today's job, obviously Tyler's here, our main man Juan is out, our other main man Eric is out. Eric does a lot of the masonry on our job sites, so stone work, block work. He does a lot of that good stuff, same as Tyler. And then Juan normally has his guys that he'll bring out in addition to himself, as extra hands on deck. I believe the two other guys out there today was I think one guy's name was Juan and the other was Sal, and everybody was highly skilled. You could tell this was a cakewalk for them. You know, they do this stuff day in and day out. They're the best of the best. And that's one of the big pluses of using subcontractors. To touch on that a little bit, a lot of people have concern with using subcontractors. I'll have homeowners ask me sometimes, hey, so how big is your team? How many guys do you have working in-house for you? And I don't know if there's a notion that the more people you have working in-house for you, the better. But I could definitely tell you from experience, using subcontractors, if you're using the right ones, it's definitely not a negative. If anything, I'd say it's a positive, because these guys are doing concrete work every day. They're doing it day in and day out, and they're the best of the best at it. If you have a guy one day finishing concrete, the next day backfilling trenches, the next day digging, the next day doing some plumbing, he's not going to be nearly as good as these guys are at finishing. He's going to be talented and I'm sure useful for a lot of things, but he's going to be a jack of all trades at the end of the day. And these guys are master concrete finishers, not to sound cheesy, but they are. I mean, they're the best. So it's the same thing with my Shotcrete company. It's the same thing with my steel company, my plumbing and electrical crew that comes in. You know, my P&E crew, one day they're doing my pool, the next day they're doing a big hotel, like commercial water feature. So, you know, there's a lot of pros to using subcontractors, I guess is my point. I'll stop rambling on that. But a little bit about the concrete today out here. This was 3,500 PSI mix, and we added fiber to it, which helps a lot with the cracking. And then these joints the guys are cutting, that you can see all these lines in the concrete, these are crack control joints, more or less. And it's essentially creating a weak point in the concrete that will let the concrete crack there instead of somewhere else, like along a finished face. And this is a broom finish here. I believe that's nylon, and that leaves a nice slip resistant finish on the concrete, which a lot of people like, and it's one of my favorites. But yeah, guys, so the job turned out really well. I'm very happy with it. The guys did an awesome job. And stay tuned for more construction videos. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.